Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall. Tonight, we're working to learn what led to a person to drive their car into a security barrier at the Naval Observatory in Northwest DC. It shut down a portion of Wisconsin Avenue for several hours today, and this is just feet away from the Vice President's residence. Daniel Hamburg was there as it happened, and he joins us live at the scene. Daniel, thankfully, nobody was hurt.
Well, that's right, Mark. And Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, was not home today. She's actually in Buffalo, New York, but it did inconvenience a lot of business owners and people living in the area. A heavy police and fire presence Wednesday afternoon near an alleyway in Glover Park leading to the Naval Observatory.
We see the blockage from the police, and I asked them, they don't let us know what is going on. So I don't know what happened in the outside.
A Secret Service spokesperson says a vehicle collided with a security gate. You can see the silver Mazda car here being taken away on a tow truck. It appeared to have little damage. Local businesses and restaurants were kept in the dark, but forced to shut down from about 10:30 to almost 1:30. Vijay Varma owns the subway on the block.
It's hard totally because lunch time is gone. Totally hard, almost maybe $1,000 to $1,500.
Wisconsin Avenue was closed between Calvert Street and W Place Northwest for hours.
It's a crazy situation. The crazy is going on. So it's supposed not to be like that. But if something happens, it should not be that long closure,
DC police and hazmat crews assisted Secret Service, but found nothing dangerous and said there was no public safety risk. And the Secret Service isn't saying if anybody was taken into custody or if any weapons were found in the car. But like I said, nobody was injured in this investigation. A spokesperson says the investigation is continuing. Live in Glover Park in Northwest, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thank you. And developing tonight, Amtrak has canceled all long-distance trains starting Thursday due to the potential railroad strike. The labor negotiations do not involve Amtrak or its employees, but many Amtrak trains use the tracks owned by freight railways, so those tracks will likely be closed. Now, the Northeast Corridor is not expected to be affected because those tracks are primarily owned by Amtrak. Now, if you're traveling north, your train will most likely be unaffected. Now, if you're traveling south or west, your train will likely be canceled. So make sure to check your train status before heading to the station. Well, new at 5, we are learning about a former Prince William County man who is now in Pennsylvania police custody for alleged child sexual assault that took place over 2 decades ago. With the help of our sister station WHTM in Harrisburg, I break down the court documents. 47-year-old Sean Corey Gooden lives in central Pennsylvania. Police in North Londonderry Township took him into custody because of an arrest warrant in Woodbridge, Virginia, in Prince William County. Police there say he sexually assaulted 2 minors who were between 8 and 13 years old back between 1997 and 2000, and they are not random victims. Gooden was a partner with the Thomas and Hafer law firm and served on the executive board of the Boy Scouts of America's New Birth of Freedom Council in Cumberland County, Pennsylvania. The firm told us, quote, "As you can probably imagine, we are not able to offer public comment on this situation." The national organization say the allegations, quote, "are disturbing and opposed to everything for which Boy Scouts of America stands." He's a former volunteer council board member and has not been active since 2019. His term formally ended in May of this year. And Gooden remains at the Lebanon County, Pennsylvania prison. The DC's 911 call center is under fire again after yet another accusation that a dispatch made mistake led to a person dying. Reporter Marielle Carbone is live for us in Southeast DC tonight. And Marielle, this comes on the heels of a scathing report from the district auditor last week.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. You know, the call center here, it's really been the center of some criticism over the last several years, with one public safety advocate doing his own investigations into the center here. Now, he says and accuses the center of making several mistakes just over the last year that he says have cost people their lives, the most recent just happening about 2 weeks ago. Now, he tells us an 11-minute delay in getting a man help played a role in his death. I did speak to an official here at the call center. They tell me that that narrative is wrong, and I am still waiting for their side of the story, but here is what we do know according to a police report. On September 2nd, someone called 911 after a man collapsed on the ground. The call came in at 10:21 a.m., and by 11:11, he was pronounced dead at the hospital. A police report was then filed at 12:13 p.m. Now, Dave Statter, who is the public safety advocate, he says that this was a botched call, and he tells us it took 11 minutes to get crews properly dispatched after the call was initially identified as low priority. He says this is just another case of bad management.
I think the number one priority is they need better management, better leadership, better supervision. That's what I keep hearing from inside and from my own observations.
Our call takers show up every single day to do their job in very stressful situations, and our responsibility is to make sure that they have the resources that they need: training, rest, support, and supervision.
Now, that was Mayor Muriel Bowser responding to today's criticism. She says she doesn't have the specific details on this exact call, but she accuses Statter of just trying to find problems to push out the current manager here at the call center. We also did speak to the deputy mayor out here, and he says that this incident, it was immediately reviewed and that corrective action was taken here. Reporting live in Southeast D.C. tonight, I'm Ariel Carbone, D.C. News Now.
A pleasant day in the DMV. The question is, will it continue? Let's check in with meteorologist Damon Matson with a look at the forecast. Damon.
Hey, Mark. Yeah, pleasant day indeed. No question about that. And, well, this looks to continue for us here. A pleasant evening now is ahead of us. Those temperatures out there this afternoon, now rolling into the 5 o'clock hour, did just hit around 80 degrees through the four-state region, DMV, and pretty much up and down the East Coast with a few upper 70s as you go back to the west into West Virginia and parts of Pennsylvania. And as we move ahead through the rest of this evening, that mostly clear sky is going to continue as we gradually cool those temperatures back down through the 70s. Likely going to be another cool and crisp overnight for us here as this stretch of dry weather is set to continue, and comfortable weather at that. Our temperatures as we roll ahead through the rest of the week staying in the upper 70s to low 80s, but notice as we go toward the end of this upcoming weekend into the beginning of next week, we still have some warm temperatures on the horizon, even with the first day of fall coming around the bend here next Thursday. Upper 80s by this upcoming Monday and Tuesday. And this is a reminder as we go into this new change of seasons, we still could see some pretty warm days ahead of us. We have notable 90-degree days in October here in D.C., including just a few years ago when we hit 98 on October the 2nd. So fall is around the corner, but we still do have some warmer temperatures in store for us in the near future.
All right, Damon, thank you. Well, happening now at D.C. Animal Rescue, searching for 6 missing puppies they believe were kidnapped to be sold. Now, the 5-week-old puppies were taken from the Humane Rescue Alliance just over a week ago. The mother and one sibling were left behind. The Alliance is offering up to $7,500 for information leading to their safe return. Tips can be reported anonymously to that organization. Well, Amazon has announced its latest projects to bring affordable housing to the DMV after moving its second headquarters to Arlington last year. But who is the housing affordable for? Well, DC News Now's Katie Ree attended a news conference earlier today. And Katie, break it down for us. Who is really going to benefit from this?
Here's the basics. Like you said, when Amazon moved their second headquarters to Arlington, Virginia, they announced an investment of over $2 billion to create and also preserve over 20,000 affordable housing units. Now, they've already started on projects in Virginia. Now they're expanding out to the district and also into Maryland. Now, the latest project is right here in Congress Heights, but some people tell me it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and projects like these could let people fall through the cracks. Amazon is investing $147 million to create and preserve 1,260 affordable housing units across Washington, D.C. These development projects will either construct new buildings or refurbish existing ones with projects in 6 out of the 8 wards. However, only certain residents will be eligible based on their income. D.C. resident Michelle Mitchell was born and raised in Congress Heights. In 2010, she was close to being forced out of her apartment on Alabama Avenue. She recently just won the legal battle against the landlord with the help of D.C. Attorney General Racine.
We fought for 9 years to get to this place. Some people give up. So if other people out there are experiencing what we went through, I pray that they would get the assistance that we got.
Mitchell says she's thankful that she qualifies for Amazon's new Congress Heights project and welcomes the new development that will help others like her.
To see the change and to know that I grew up in this area and to see the area transform the way that it has. So it's a blessing.
Attorney General Carl Racine says housing projects like the ones Amazon is funding across the district leave out the poorest community members who don't fall into the income range, as well as longstanding residents and community members of color. He told DC News Now that only 6% of affordable housing provided by Amazon in Virginia went to the lowest earning people.
This is a matter of policy and priority. If you care about the people who help make DC great, hardworking folks who may not make as much money as folks who are just coming into town, then you will prioritize affordable housing around their needs. It's actually not that hard.
But Catherine Buell, the director of the Amazon Equity Trust Fund, says that's not true.
We're being very intentional about servicing those customers where there is no affordable housing funding or public funding available. Many of the traditional public and affordable housing sources, such as your housing choice vouchers, such as your low-income housing tax credits, those really do focus on those more deeply affordable projects.
Now, the area media income of those different projects ranges, whether it be from 30% of the AMI to 80%. Now, I'll have more details on that coming up at 6, but for now, reporting live in Congress Heights, Katie Ree, DC News Now.